Welcome to the Morale Booster Network, a platform for entrepreneurs, career professionals, leaders, and the general public to give back to the society through coaching and mentoring. I remain your host, Dr. John Ugulu. I am an author, speaker, and strategist. I always say experience is the best teacher. You can stream or download this podcast from YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, Google Podcast, Player FM, and Pandora. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to the Morale Booster Podcast. I am Dr. John Ugulu, your host. In this season of From Idea to Impact, we will be navigating the journey of an author. We will dive deep into the creative process, the challenges, and the triumphs that come with bringing a book to life. In this episode, we are thrilled to welcome our guest, Dr. Rani Thanacoody. She is the co-author of I Am So Glad You Left Me. It is an anthology, and her chapter is From Shyness to Wholeness, with 87 women from around the world. Let's embark on this inspiring journey together. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are just joining us for the very first time, I want you to please like and share this broadcast. And here's the reason why. Because you might just be saving the life of that one person who has been waiting for a lifetime to hear the message that we will be sharing today. So our guest is based in the United Kingdom. Her name is Dr. Rani Thanacoody. She is an entrepreneur and the founder of AmazingYou. AmazingYou is a platform dedicated to empowering women through personal transformation. Now, with a diverse range of expertise, she is an international inspirational speaker, clinical hypnotherapist, Mars-Venus certified life and relationship coach. She is a breathwork coach. She is also a Lifeforce Compassion Practitioner, past Life Regression Practitioner. She is a tarot reader and an astrologer. So Rani's passion lies in helping women overcome trauma and guiding them on their journeys of self-discovery and healing. She also has a podcast, and her podcast, AmazingYou by Dr. Rani Thanacoody, provides inspiration and support to those navigating challenging times, thereby offering valuable insights for personal growth. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please join me as I welcome Dr. Rani Thanacoody, all the way from the United Kingdom, to the Morale Booster Podcast. Welcome, Dr. Rani. Thank you for joining us on this program.
Hi, Dr. John. Thank you so much for the invitation to talk, to speak to you, to share with you and your audience. And so happy to be on your podcast called The Morale Booster. And I'm here looking forward to boost the morale of everybody. So let's go and let's get started. Yes, and thank you for the beautiful introduction, Dr. John.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine. First of all, we're so happy that you could take time out of your very busy schedule to come on board this platform to share your wisdom and experience to even people you don't know. So it is a selfless service, and I really do admire that passion of yours for helping people become a better version of themselves. You could have been doing other things now, but you chose calling over anything else. So we appreciate you. Thank you once again for joining me on this program.
You are very welcome, Dr. John.
Great. How's the weather over there? I guess it's now freezing.
It is indeed freezing. It's -3 for the past 3 days. But
Wow,
it's
wow,
okay.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. So let's talk a bit about your day-to-day activities before we go into your book. I know by day you also do a lot of coaching, and how have you been able to um how have you been able to put everything together, and yet you were also able to write a book? What's the secret? What's the strategy? How have you been able to navigate being a coach and being an author?
Thank you for this great question, Dr. John. I would say what has helped me to do that, and we were talking about that at the beginning before the recording. I think I would say it's my change of the mindset. You know, for a long time throughout my life, I have experienced trauma and I have always been in that survival mode. And when you are in that survival mode, you are always either fighting or being in a flight state or freezing because of the trauma you are experiencing, the things in life. But since I've started that personal growth journey, and we met on that course of Mr. Les Brown, The Power of Voice.
Yes, yes,
And that was the moment from those days that we were in lockdown. That's when the time for me came when I started to change my mindset from a victim to a victor mentality, and it's not easy. It takes time, it takes dedication, it takes hard work and consistency. And this has helped me to see things differently, to think differently, to make different pictures in my mind, more positive pictures. And that gives me the energy as well. Because when we create positive pictures in our mind, instead of living in a state of anxiety on thinking what is the worst, I instead think of what is the best that can happen to me. And still changing that through hypnotherapy, all these modalities, these these modalities have helped me to change my life and to be able to incorporate so many things throughout the day that people always keep telling me, how do I do that? I say, because I enjoy doing all those things, and it just come naturally because I have a love for what I'm doing. When we have love for what we do, whether it's teaching full time, seeing my clients every part of the day, is the best part of my day, you know?
yes. I that what you said resonates with me. You talked about people being in a constant state of survival mode, and that resonates with me because that applies to a whole lot of people, a whole lot,
Yes.
and that becomes very frustrating
Mm.
when the survival mode extends beyond what one typically anticipates. And are you a certified hypnotherapist?
Yes, I am certified in hypnotherapy as well. Yes.
Okay, great, great. So now my question is, there are so many people who are in that survival and they want to become authors. That's what they truly want to do. But being in that survival mode has not given them the ability to get it done. And that could also lead to depression when you keep thinking, or rather anxiety and depression, which it can lead them to any of those. So what would your advice be to that woman who's listening to us right now, who has the passion or aspiration for writing a book, but remaining in the survival mode has not really given her the ability to explore that option. And that keeps bothering her on a daily basis. So, what's your advice for that woman?
Okay, that's a great question, Dr. John. What I would say to that lady, everything starts with you. Nothing that happens to you is from the outside. Ev- we are only reacting to the outside world because there is something inside of us that is requiring us to pay attention and to heal that, because we are the greatest healer, you know. We can heal ourselves, and we start to look within. That's where all the treasures are, you know. And Rumi, I'm sure you've heard of Rumi, very well known Persian poet.
Yes.
And he said that the most beautiful place on earth, it's the very center of your heart. It is where life begins. It's in your heart. So I will tell that lady listening to me today to start to look within and start to heal those wounds inside that are preventing her from writing that book. Because we, all of us, Dr. John, we have experienced some kind of trauma in our lifetime, whether it's a big accident or whether it's a small trauma, which is our parents didn't have time for us, and thus we understood it as not being loved. This is a kind of trauma. So trauma is what is happening inside of us, the emotions we keep stuck inside of us based on those events that happen. So it's about, the first thing is find somebody who can help you to start to peel those layers, because there are so many: feeling unloved, feeling that any things are not available to you, feeling disconnected, feeling different. So many clients of mine, they come, I cannot connect, I feel different, I am not loved. So it's about peeling those layers. And as you start to peel those layers, you will feel your confidence will build, you know. You will feel more confident to do things. You will do things that you've never done before. You will step into the unknown, and that's where you will be able to write that book. Because for me, I was in a state, Dr. John, where I was very shy. You were like that too. I remember your story on my podcast. So
Yes.
similar story.
Yes.
So we experience trauma in our own ways. Like for me, when my grandmother passed away, that was a huge trauma at 4 years old. This is what I shared in the book. I'm so glad you left me. And that didn't go because there were nobody there at that time who could understand what I was feeling. You know, were the adults people around me were there, but they were busy and they couldn't understand what that little girl was feeling, what she wanted. Because my grandmother gave me love that nobody could give me the way she gave me, because she listened to me, she was there for me, she would let me be me, you know, to express myself. And when she passed away, that became a big block. I completely freeze all my emotions. Became numb completely to the world, because that was a way to protect myself from the world, from being hurt, because I didn't know what to do at 4 years old. I was confused growing up my whole life. And as I withdraw, so that was the first disconnection I had with myself. You know, I disconnection with who I really was, and I started to become a people pleaser. And as I grew up, Dr. John, it didn't become any better. It became worse and worse, people pleasing, facing bullying, until I started that personal growth journey. So I would tell everybody, and the lady who is listening to me today, if you want to write your book, the power is in your hands. Start to work on you, heal those wounds. That's the first thing you can do. But the first, most simple thing you can do, start to connect with your breathing. Just do some deep breath, because breathing, it's life, you know, Dr. John. Without our breath, we are not here. The body is nothing. The body is just a vehicle, but our life energy comes from our breath. So breathing will help you to calm your nervous system. So just take deep breaths so many times, 2 or 3 times throughout the day. And I still do it. I am a breathwork coach. I still apply my own thing to myself, Dr. John, because breathing, all of us, we live in a state of lot of things going on. And when we are experiencing living in a survival mode, we breathe only up to our diaphragm. And when we breathe from our diaphragm, it creates the stress receptors. But when we breathe from our tummy deep down, we create the calm receptors. So, breathing is the first thing you can do to yourself by loving yourself. So, loving yourself is by doing breathing and another great things that I do every day since I started that personal journey. Start to develop an attitude of gratitude, because gratitude, and is do it as the first thing when you get up in the morning, not later throughout the day, because you need to start to rewire your brain to think positive. It's like using neuro linguistic programming, not waiting for others to wire your brain. You rewire your own brain. That's what I help clients in hypnotherapy to do it themselves. And when you start to do that the first thing in the morning in bed, as you open your eyes, you start to say, I am grateful for 5 things that you are grateful for. And as you keep that kind of positive, it will help you to develop a positive mindset. And gratitude will bring abundance to you. Sorry, because gratitude is the highest frequency, same as the love frequency. So as you raise your vibration, your energy will rise in your body, and you will attract abundance. You will be able to write so many books that you never thought you would be able. Dr. John, I never thought I would be co-authoring in 4 books, and I've got 3 more coming. I tell you, this was never in my mind until I started to go through that journey of personal growth. I discovered my talents, I discovered new things. It's like, wow, this life is a self-discovery journey of finding out who we really are and where we come from. What is it? What is our purpose in this lifetime? So that's what I would say, Dr. John.
Thank you so much. Everything you said resonates with me. And for those of you who are listening to us right now, Dr. Rani just suggested that when you're going through that survival mode, challenging times, times where you feel overwhelmed, when you're going through that traumatic experience, remember to breathe as often as you possibly can, because there is a high possibility that you could forget to breathe fully, like she said. Remember to take those deep breaths, and it's very helpful. And she also suggested that we should adopt an attitude of gratitude. Yes. Now I have a business card. My business card, on the front side of the card, it has a quote that says, "Do not fret over things you cannot control." For those who can say, it says, "Do not fret over things you cannot control, but instead focus only on what can be controlled." Right? And the other side of the business card has my business information. Now, what do? When I get off work, I try to go to a very busy place. It could be a mall, it could be it could be a grocery store. And I start to hand these cards over to people. And when I hand the cards to them, what I tell them is, hey, I've got a message for you, a special message. Read the message. I'll make sure they read it. And when they read it, I always see a huge sign of relief. Some of them would say, hey, I needed to hear this, because we are always too consumed with things that we cannot control. And when we start thinking all the time about what we cannot control, it affects us mentally, emotionally. It affects us. So that constant reminder of adopting a mindset of gratitude and focusing only on the things we can control, it is a big thing. So that's why I said what you just talked about resonates with me. I do a lot of deep breathing too, a lot. Even when I'm working out, I try to always remember that, hey, my man, you've got to breathe real deep, So thank you so much for the reminder, Dr. Rani. I really appreciate this. Ladies and gentlemen, we're still on the Morale Booster podcast. Um, I don't know where you're listening from, but please remember to like and share this broadcast. And here is the reason why. You might just be saving the life of that one person who has been waiting for a lifetime to hear the message that Dr. Rani just shared here. So please share it. It won't cost you anything to share the broadcast. Take it to be your charity work for today. Save somebody on your contact list who's struggling, who's overwhelmed, who's thinking of giving up, who's thinking that what they're going through, you know, might not be something they can get out of. So please share it. So thank you all. We're still live with Dr. Rani. Dr. Rani, I'll go straight to my next question. You have co-authored 4 books. What inspired you to write a book?
That's another great question, Dr. John. You always ask really to the point question, and I love that. What inspired me to write the book? The first book that I wrote was called Bare Naked and Beautiful. And what inspired me, it was in that book I shared about my journey of experiencing physical abuse and emotional abuse as a child. So, what inspired me is I wanted to help other women who have experienced abuse but who couldn't talk about it. And when I shared my journey in that book, it has helped so many other women come back to me and tell me, I have experienced this, but I couldn't talk about it for 40 years. It's giving them a place where they know that they are not alone and that it's something that they can open up to, you know? So that's why it inspired me, because I wanted other people to know, because I kept it for so long, for all my life, 47 years. At that time
Wow.
when yes, I suppress it. I told you, I numb all my emotions. I push everything down until I realize I need to get it out, because when I got it out on paper, it did a lot of good things to my body. I feel that, writing is very healing. And when you put your story in writing, it's another kind of therapy, and I didn't know about that, but until I started doing it, I felt it was so good. And then I say I need to share those stories, because somewhere somebody needs to hear that, and they are in pain. Just like when you said that the podcast would help somebody, and that's how I started my podcast, because somebody was in pain, and that gave me the idea to start my own podcast. Because just hearing our voice, like Mr. Les Brown used to say, just hearing our voice, just hearing our message of inspiration can definitely change the life of people. So that's what inspired me to share my stories, different stories in all these books, just to help people who are listening, who are going through some tough times and who don't know what to do.
Yes, thank you so much. That's a valid reason. Because I typically always remind people that when your vision is for you and your immediate family, then it is an ambition. But when your vision is for total strangers, people you don't know, then that is a calling, because our calling is meant to be used for others, while someone else is expected to use their calling for us and we use ours for others, right? So yes,
Yes,
that's a valid reason you gave there, and I really do appreciate it. And you have been touching lives, you have been inspiring people, you have been motivating people, you have been helping people become the best version of themselves. And we really do appreciate you for all you do for humanity. Right now, with the level of depression globally, the level of anxiety globally, now that these things have risen so high, the level of domestic violence,
yes.
there's no better time for the world to need more of you, Dr. Rani, more of people like you in the world than now. So this is the time the world needs you most, and we're glad you're one of those who has stepped up to use your gift for the betterment of the world. So keep doing what you do. And I know you will write more books. Is that correct?
Yes, thank you, Dr. John. And you keep doing what you are doing as well, because you as well, what everything that you do is to give hope to people, to inspire them. So we're on the same journey, to help
Yes, yes.
humanity, to help everybody. Yes. Sorry, you asked me another question.
Yes,
Am I-
as I was asking if you would write more books.
Oh yes, yes. I've got a book coming, another co-authored book coming tomorrow, so called Women of Purpose. Another one coming in April, co-authored again. It is going to be called Miracles Are Normal. And then a third book coming next year in July or August. It's called Compassionate Women of Purpose, Compassionate Heart. So I'm really, really excited on that,
Wow.
to be on that journey. Yeah.
Wow, I see you are putting in the work and you're doubling down. I love that. I
I
love that.
never thought the opportunities, and then I say, yes, I once I started writing, I love it.
I know, trust me, I know that feeling. Most of us never imagined or never expected that we would become authors. And when the opportunity came up, you know, along the line based on the personal development journey and all those positive things, we decided to jump on it and not stop, right? So keep doing what you do. And I know God will grant you everything you need to continuously achieve your dreams, your goals, and your heart desires. Yeah, my goal is to write to publish at least one book every year. And I have been doing that for the last 4 years. Yeah, that's my goal, and I know it will increase from 1 to 2 books to 3 books to 4 books a year.
Yeah.
We've got no choice but to empty everything that God gave us to bring into this world, to empty, to take it all out, put them in a book or in a podcast, or to put them in places where generations to come can benefit from what we had inside of us, right?
Absolutely. It's no time to take them to the cemetery like people used to do. No, we
No
need to get
time.
them out in this lifetime, get them all our gifts and talents out. That's what they are meant to be out and to be useful for others, and everybody has to do that. Get your gifts out, everybody. Work on you. And yes, you are here all for a great purpose. So, yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. So now, let's talk about challenges you faced when writing your books, when co-authoring these books. Could you please share with us some of the challenges? Now, the reason why we're asking these questions is because um, aspiring authors might run into some challenges. So we don't want it to be new to them. We want them to be able to learn from people who are already ahead of them on that journey. So, what challenges did you face when co-authoring these books?
Thank you, Dr. John. I would say a few of the challenges. So the first one is having too many ideas. It's having to narrow the stories, choose ones, you have to put down all your different ideas on paper, and then you pick one specific story you want to share. So it is about really narrowing that down at the end. And that's a challenge at the beginning because you want to share so much. There's so much we want to share. So that's one of the biggest challenge. Another one is staying within the word limit.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So
So
yeah, those are great. Those are challenges that people typically go through. Yes.
yes. So I think having a publisher who helps you, that's why we have our publisher, and they helps you, they look at it, they give you advice where you need to expand, where you need to make it shorter. I think that's very helpful. My publishers my have been really, really helpful in helping me doing that. But I am usually good at word limit because I've been writing academic journals, so we have to stay within certain word limit. But when we write our personal stories, we can write a lot more, so we have to be mindful of that, to keep within that word limit. And another one I would say, a third challenge is feeling the emotions. Dr. John, when I was writing, the publisher was telling me, when you write your third, second, or third book, you will still have deep emotions coming up. I said, no.
Yes.
I said, no, I have done so much healing. I was talking to myself. I said, no, I've done 3 years of deep healing. I don't think there is anything that will come up. And it's true, when I started writing, even if it was 800 words, I felt some emotions as I wrote that story. And I say, wow. So allow your feelings, your emotions to emerge as you are writing. And it's okay because that's the way you are healing. So don't push it down. Let it come. Let the tears come. Let the emotion, the sadness come, because that is an opportunity for it to rise up and to get out of your system. So just be open when you are writing, be vulnerable. I think that's very important, and be you from the depth of your heart you write. So I think allow your emotions to rise. This is another thing. Don't hide it, don't push it down.
Yes, yes, yes. It is okay to allow your emotions to come in, allow it flow. Thank you so much for sharing that. That resonates with me as well. And yes, I wouldn't want to take much of your time because I know it's already late over there in the UK. What I typically do is when I bring guests on this platform, I typically ask them to give words of inspiration, words of encouragement within 60 seconds. And based on your expertise, based on your experience, I would want you to talk to that man or that woman who's listening to us, who is currently thinking of writing a book, and that person is waiting for the right time to get started. And because they've been waiting for the right time, the time has not come till date, and it's affecting them. And they still have the hope that there will be a right time. So, can you please talk to that person for 1 minute?
Yes, I will tell the person that you've got only one life. This is your life. You are the painter, you are the sculptor, you are the creator of your life. So you can change your life. Nobody else can change your life. And nothing in the external world will change for you until you start to change from within and you start to take actions on your life. Because this life we've got, everybody, it's very short. 100 years, that's the max. 200 years you would live, but that's it. So you have to take action now because we don't know if we are going to be here tomorrow. So start today because you don't want to live with regrets and you don't want to carry your stories to the cemetery with you. So start it now so that you can be a blessing to the next generation and live without regrets.
Yes, thank you so much. Start now. Yes, you who's listening to us, there'll never be a perfect time. Never, ever, never. So start now. Whatever it is you want to do, if it's writing a book, start now. Start with whatever you have, wherever you are. If you want to start business, start now. And I know so many people would say, you need money to start. Yes, you need money to start. We know. But start now. Money is not the only thing needed to start any venture. You can start by doing feasibility studies. And in the process of doing your feasibility studies, you can run into the people who have the financial resources to help you. But start asking questions, start reaching out to people. There's so many things you can start doing that does not require money. And that's just the truth. Start reading books, start going to the library to read books, to see how books are structured. Start somewhere, right? Is that correct, Dr. Rani?
Yes, Dr. John, they can even start, people nowadays are so much on their social media. They can start writing on their social media, sharing their
Yes.
stories. That's the first place they can start writing blogs, start writing bits and pieces on Facebook. Yeah, it's never too late, and you never know who will see your story. So start writing. Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much. And look, we're so excited that you could join us on this program. And I hope when next I invite you, you will be willing to come and speak to my audience. Yeah, when next I invite you, I hope you will be willing to come and share some words of wisdom with them.
Oh, yes, Dr. John. It's been a pleasure talking to you and your audience. I thank you for this opportunity and this invitation to come again. I'll definitely come to share with the audience more stories. And I would like to tell the audience today, remember that you are important and you are the treasure that you have been seeking. In everything that you do, it starts with you, with loving yourself, because as you love yourself, you will be able to do everything that you want to do, and you will be able to love others even more. So take care, everyone, and thank you so much, Dr. John.
You're very welcome. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can find her contact information right there. Go and follow her right now on social media. Please follow her on social media. And if you've got any questions, comments, or concerns regarding what she talked about, feel free to send her a direct message either on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, and she will be more than happy to get back to you with a response. It might take a while, but whenever she has a time, she will get back to you. But in the meantime, please go follow her. And where can people find your books, ma'am? I guess they're on Amazon.
Yes, they are on Amazon. They can also find my book on my website, which is marsvenuscoachrani.com. So they can go there as well. And they can find my podcast on my other website, which is Dr. Rani, Rani, Thanacoody, THANACOODY.com. Yeah.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much for sharing that information. Ladies and gentlemen, you all have that information. And like I always say, whatever has a beginning will surely have an end. We've come to that point where we need to come bring the program to a close. And we will be excited to share some amazing ways for every one of you to stay connected with our mission and continue to grow together. So, whether it's through donations, inspirational resources, or becoming a part of our community, your support and engagement means the world to us. Now, here are ways you can get involved with what we do. First one is you can support our mission and help us continue uplifting lives by making a donation. We are a 501c3 organization. Your generosity allows us to keep spreading hope and positivity. So if you want to make a donation today to support what we do, visit our website, www.johnughulu.com. www.johnughulu.com. And secondly, if you are looking for inspiration, you can check out our collection of inspirational books. They are designed to motivate and encourage you on your journey. Visit the same website, johnughulu.com, and click on resources. When you get into the website, go to resources, and you would find our books. On that same resource page, you would be able to tune into our latest podcast episodes where we share powerful messages of hope, resilience, and personal growth. I urge you to listen now and let the words lift your spirit. And lastly, you can become a part of our growing community, our online community, where we uplift and inspire one another every day. So you can subscribe for $10, a monthly subscription of $10. And once that is done, you will be able to receive exclusive content, daily motivation, and access to our special events from time to time. Thank you all for being a part of this journey with us. And together, we can continue to make a lasting impact and spread positivity in all we do. I know we're global. The podcast is all over the world. And you who's listening to me right now, I don't know where you're listening from. I don't even know what you know about yourself. Neither do I know what the people around you know about you. But here is one thing that I, John, know for sure about you who's listening. I know you have greatness within you. I know you have everything within you to become the best version of yourself. I know you have everything within you to transition from where you are to where you want to be. And remember, today is the first day of the rest of your life. Stay blessed, everybody, and bye for now. Thank you once again, Dr. Rani. Bye, everybody.